Chapter 9. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing the story of Jin Hyuk, whose favorite game turned into reality, and he is using his game knowledge to get super strong as soon as possible. If you haven't watched the previous part, the link is in the description. 7 p.m. Tower of Trials is now open. The towers all over the world were opened at the same time. It is open! Hurry up! Move! The people who had been waiting outside all rushed towards the gate. Jin Hyuk, too, was ready as he walked into the light pouring from inside. Woong. Upon entering the tower, a completely different view to Seoul spread out in front of their eyes. Vast meadows and a blue sky. The green forests filled the eye to the horizon. This was the first floor of the Tower of Trials and the starting point for the players from Korea. Oh! Finally, we are here. The people burst out into cheers. He also looked around with excitement and curiosity. What was this feeling? It was like everyone here were newbies playing the game for the first time. Of course, he could understand their sentiments as his heart was pounding with the same excitement. A new feeling. Jin Hyuk looked around with calm eyes. Now is the time for it to show up. The moment he thought that, tring. Welcome to the Tower of Trials. A blue status window appeared. It is starting. Jin Hyuk waited for what would follow. 100 coins are paid out to commemorate the entrance of the tower. Coins are the currency that can be used in the tower. Players can upload their videos of their achievement, and 100 coins are paid for every 10,000 views. However, the fee is different based on the level of the player. Videos viewed by non-tower residents are counted as views only for the first watch. Please choose carefully before watching a video. Live broadcast options are only available when fighting against boss monsters to go up to the next floor. In the case of misconduct or manipulation of views, measures will be taken. Right. This was it. The connecting bridge between those who climbed the tower and those who lived outside. The player would use diverse scenes to draw the attention of the viewers. Viewers would watch our videos and increase our view counts. This system was the most interesting part of the Tower of Trials setup. It meant that the more famous ABJ became, the more they would monopolize the coins. In the near future, many players will upload their videos to bait viewers. However, Jin Hyuk had no intention of uploading a video anytime soon. There would only be damage to me if I disclosed everything right away. Even if he decided to do it later and only edit it to show off the sweet parts, he would still get explosive reactions. There was no need to worry about broadcasting already. Similarly, live broadcasts that could drag on for a long time shouldn't be used outside special cases. Then I need to move now. Jin Hyuk looked towards one side of the forest. The first thing he wanted to do had already been decided, and it was different from the option others were going for. It was a little special path. Was it 6 years ago? It was when he had been attacking the early parts of the 30th floor of the tower that he realized one thing. The fact that it was impossible to make it further up. Since then, he has looked for all types of solutions. He began searching through the lower stages for any hidden piece. However, it yielded no results. It was all useless because the start was bad. When he discovered the problem, he panicked and was forced to delete the account he had raised with blood and sweat and start over from the beginning. He had even considered quitting but decided to continue. And in the end, he found an old book on the 10th floor. In it was written what he needed to do on the first floor to clear the tower. The method to enter the ruins of the Corridor of the Fallen on the first floor was to get the approval of the owner of the ruins as you first arrive in the tower. Just like the method he was using now. In other words, it was to reach the boss at level 1. The labyrinth in front of him was a training place to make it happen. Jin Hyuk glanced behind him. Some people had followed and entered with him. They must have thought they were doing an excellent job hiding behind a tree. So typical of newbies. Cute. He had a rough idea of what they were thinking of doing. But well, do things ever happen as you want them to? The 5 or 6 men and women following Jin Hyuk from a distance clicked their tongues. I thought it would be something special. It was a labyrinth? I didn't think it would be here. Damn it. This is why I said to just go hunting for goblins and level up. Did we know that? We thought he was here to eat up some secret thing that he knew about since he looked like a lone wolf kind of guy. Let's stop fighting and head back. If we go now, there must still be some vacant spots left. Several voices spoke up, most of them talking about the time wasted. At that moment, shh, Look at what he is doing. A woman at the front put her index finger up to her lips. What? Look carefully. The man is drawing things at the entrance of the labyrinth. Everyone glanced over at the woman's words and confirmed it was true. They wondered what he was doing, but saw that blue light started shining from the text. Kukuku. The ground began to shake as the labyrinth opened up. Is this for real? What? He opened the labyrinth without a key. Their eyes shone. Typically, you would need a key or an item to open up such a place. But this man used nothing. It was a situation that broke their preconceptions, leaving everyone at a loss for words. Let's go. We need to go before he disappears. It was the woman at the front that broke the silence. What? You want to go in? You don't even know how large it is inside. Park Hana, are you crazy? Be quiet and think. The woman called Park Hana looked frustrated at her companions. Aren't you aware that the start of the Tower of Trials is the most important part? That? We know. It was common knowledge that difficulty got higher as they went up, so they needed early growth down here. Those who had played the game before knew that especially. Everyone agreed to that, but now there was another problem. But will he share the items within with us? It was a matter of distributing the loot from inside the labyrinth. Of course, he won't. But it didn't matter, because they didn't have to care about that. He seems to like the labyrinth a lot, so we can just let him stay in there forever. They had been hiding so clumsily that he got bored with their antics. Still, it wasn't nice to not acknowledge them. Who are you all? Jin Hyuk asked with a worried expression. It was awkward doing this as it used facial muscles, which he rarely used. His chin hurt. We aren't bad people. Park Hana took the lead and said this while shaking her hands with a light smile on her lips as if she was trying to appeal to him. We came to find a suitable hunting ground. And found you by chance. She made it sound like a coincidence. What else would people say for their first meeting when they had bad intentions? Even a sick 80-year-old man wouldn't say such a thing. Jin Hyuk's eyes, which could discern truth and lies, shone. Still, he decided to play along. Park Hana. The corner of his mouth turned upwards to a light smile. This woman has some interesting skills. A unique ability that looked worthy of copying had shown up. Please hit the like button so more people can enjoy this awesome story, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Now let's get back to the story. Jin Hyuk decided to take a peek at her status window. Name, Park Hana. Age, 22. Level, 1. Strength, 4. Agility, 5. Stamina, 5. Magic, 10. Stat points, 0. Coins, 100. Occupation, none. Unique ability, communion. Skill, LV1 fast step. LV1, weak healing. The feeling of communion. Even if it was their first meeting, the person they met would feel like they have known them for a long time and erase any wariness. It was an ability that he needed to break people's guards and copy their abilities. Furthermore, it will be a great help for taming that guy later. At first, he thought about using them to get rid of the traps inside the labyrinth. But now he changed his mind. This skill cannot be missed. He had to get this skill, so Jin Hyuk confirmed the conditions needed to copy it. Copy condition. Stay with Park Hana for at least 240 hours. However, once 240 hours have passed, there must be no one other than you and Park Hana. 240 hours. In other words, they had to be together for 10 days to satisfy the condition. I don't need the other 5. There was no need to kill them, though. I am no bloodthirsty killer. If they didn't cross the line, he would use them in moderation, and then they could leave in their own way. But if they crossed the line, that would be a different story. Because I am determined to survive in this world as well. Jin Hyuk, who had read the conditions carefully, then said, "So why did you come to me instead of going to the hunting grounds?" Before I answer that, maybe I can ask you a question. Ask away. The place you're entering now is a labyrinth, right? Yes. As I thought. Park Hana bit her lips and then said, "We want to join in." We join? Yes. Wouldn't it be better to go together as a group than alone? There is a saying that sharing the risk is better. Jin Hyuk pointed to the entrance. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. Want to enter the labyrinth? Do it. Once you entered, you wouldn't be able to leave on your own anyway. You have entered the labyrinth Labyrinthos. The number of challengers is 7. They could feel the moist, sticky air sticking to their skin as they entered the labyrinth. The smell. The feeling. Now he really felt the truth that he was really within the tower. Jin Hyuk looked at the wall. There were bright lights in place, shining from inside them. There were hundreds of luminous moths within the walls. They were widely known for providing light for vision in underground dungeons. But there was an exception here. Jin Hyuk moved his 5 fingers at regular intervals. He slowly folded them and opened his palm again, as if he was mimicking their wing movement. Once, twice, and thrice. And then, a moth sat on Jin Hyuk's hand. The dust quickly covered his hands, making them emit a bright light. Right, nice to meet you. A gentle smile appeared on his lips, and it was then. Park Hana activated her unique ability, Communion. In an instant, ticklish energy made his body feel tired. His mind became at ease. So, this is how it works. He would have felt friendly towards her if he didn't know about her ability. Good compatibility, or someone to be trusted. It was like a good first impression. Fortunately, I knew about this labyrinth from before. Wow. You are more amazing than I thought. It is an honor to be with you. Park Hana slowly looked at him as she was trying to break down his wall. It might work on those with shallow minds, though. Jin Hyuk smiled and shook his head. I know it well. Probably no one knows it as well as I do. Ah, the time has come. Jin Hyuk stood still, and at that moment, kukuku, the entire labyrinth began to violently shake. Dust from the ceiling fell as cracks opened on the floors and walls. Ak! What is this? Ak! Panicked screams erupted from the group. The ground was rising up and going down. The boulders inside the labyrinth also moved in every direction. Move! Don't stick close to each other. Shit. If we fall, we die right away. Right side, to the right. Bang, bang. The stones of the labyrinth were moving quickly, fitting together like blocks in Tetris. Kwang. Everyone was moving quickly to avoid getting caught between the rocks. They scratched their knees, causing blood to flow, but they didn't have time to care about that. Kukukuk. The vibrations stopped, and the paths changed entirely from before. If there was a small fortune, it was that the team didn't get split up. Ugh! Their hearts were pounding. Ugh! This is the labyrinth on the first floor. Nonsense. Wasn't there supposed to be nothing here except for ruins? As everyone breathed heavily with pale faces, Jin Hyuk simply stood up and brushed the dust from his body. Have you all experienced a labyrinth with changing terrains at least once? Who would want to experience such a thing? Park Hana shouted with a pale face. Well, fine. Jin Hyuk shrugged. At his carefree appearance, Park Hana felt the urge to curse, but she held back as she had more important things to do. We need to get out right now. Heyman, can you find an exit? The ability got cancelled when the labyrinth changed. Lee Heyman shook her head with a dark face. Unique ability Compass. The ability to show the safest route out of a dungeon or labyrinth. Park Hana had confidently entered the labyrinth because of this ability. But that ability had now become useless, because the labyrinth had been recreated, and that changed everything. So you mean you cannot find a way out? In this place we are locked up? I did wonder how she could enter the labyrinth that confidently. Was it because there was a navigation ability? Jin Hyuk, who overheard their words, swallowed a laugh. Guess the newbies didn't know that going into a labyrinth wasn't like going to their local supermarket. Even so, what can we expect from fools? The time for it to appear has come. Thud, thud. A faint sound could be heard from afar, though everyone else was panicking, so they couldn't hear it. But Jin Hyuk felt it. Something that roamed in this place was approaching them. The labyrinth changes? Why the hell didn't you tell me such an important thing in advance? Park Hana raised her voice. It hurt his ear a bit. And, did I ask you to follow me? What? No. You were the ones who said you wanted to come. I never forced you. They wanted to come. That's right. Speak up now. That is true. Park Hana stuttered. She wanted to retort back, but she had nothing to say. This bastard is saying this only now. I already feel like a beggar being confined to this one place. If you mess around one more time, I'm gonna kill you, Cheon Min-guk shouted. Well, he would let Park Hana speak as he needed her. But this guy? Jin Hyuk scratched his head and stood in front of Cheo Min-guk. You are free to squeal like a pig, but you better keep your voice down in here. What? Ah! You don't understand human language? Then. Oink, 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 oink. Oink, oink, oink. Did you get it now? I said to be quiet. You fucking bastard! Cheon Min-guk, whose face was flushed red, swung his fist. Thud, thud. Loud footsteps could be heard. Unlike before, the sound was clear enough for everyone to hear. The howling sound of the wind came from the labyrinth's halls. Puak. Ku. Ak. A large axe lodged itself in Cheon Min-guk's head. It was a piece of metal 2 meters long. Nothing was left of the head to check. He died immediately. It finally came out? Jin Hyuk looked over to the side. Monster. It's larger than even a medium-sized one. Damn it. At such a time? Thud, thud, thud! Something began to approach them from the end of the passage. It was coming at a fast pace. Goo! A moment later, a 2-meter-tall monster appeared. It was a mythical being with the head of a cow and a human's body, Minotaur. The situation plunged into chaos almost immediately. Wung. The Minotaur swung the massive axe in its hand. Quag. Just one blow left a huge scar on the rocks and made the wall collapse, causing dust to rise. If that axe grazed against the body, any normal human would end up as a rag. But it was then. Jin Hyuk ran to the front, right towards the Minotaur. Goo! Did a little creature attacking with his bare hands offend it? The Minotaur swung its axe with both of its hands. A direct attack to his head. Jin Hyuk turned slightly to avoid it. Kwang. The ground shattered as the axe made contact with it. At that moment, the attack was evaded. You have obtained the hidden stat rift. 2 lines from the status window appeared in front of him. Nice. Jin Hyuk smiled internally. With that, the chapter ends here. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I will be posting the next part soon.